All right. Good evening, everybody. It is Tuesday, one of my personal favorite evenings and days of the week because we get together and we get to feel inspired and just hear people's inspiring stories. I am really excited for everyone to be here. Thank you for taking some time out in your evening. And I want to first acknowledge all of our guests. So, welcome. If you are a guest here tonight and you have not yet put your first and last name in the chat, if you could do so, we have some amazing prizes tonight that we would love to give away. So, make sure to put your name in there. I am going to introduce our guest speaker. Her name is Stacey, and she is a stay-at-home mom, six-figure earner, Cadillac earner, and she is just such a beautiful person. I don't personally know you, Stacey, but I have followed you on your Facebook, and I love your positivity, and you're just such a beautiful soul. So I am looking forward to hearing your story, and I can't wait for everyone else to hear it too.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I'm so honored to be here. I really don't feel like my story is that remarkable, but I think that that's kind of the point, right? I feel like the fact that any ordinary person can do this business is what really makes it something special. So thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. It's nice to see your faces. Erin, it's been a while. We're so used to being able to see each other every few months on our trips, and it's been a really long time. So to those of you that are far, big hug. Where are you all tuning in from? I am in Northern California. I'm from a very, very small little lake town, kind of on the outskirts of Sacramento. So I'm just going to share a little bit about kind of how I got started in this business. And it's something that I get really excited to talk about because never, just like most of the market partners in Monet, never did I imagine I would be here. And I call it my unexpected little miracle. So I'm going to kind of back up to quite a few years ago. And I kind of, like most people in my generation, were raised to go to college, get good grades, go on and get hired by a corporation that's going to, pay you benefits and the whole 9 yards, right? That's kind of like what we were raised to do. And I never really questioned it. I never really thought there was another way. And so that was sort of my path. But after I graduated from college and I got my first amazing job, I actually was working in medical sales in Beverly Hills, California in 2001, 2002. And at that time, that was a super sweet job to have. They gave you a car, you got a pretty big paycheck, you got an expense account, that you could do pretty much whatever you wanted with. I thought I was living the life. And then I fell in love. And like most crazy 20-year-olds, I kind of like decided to risk it all. And I followed my then boyfriend to Colombia, South America. Quit my job. My family thought I was crazy. I mean, I come from a teeny little town where everybody kind of marries their high school best friend and they stay around. And here I am leaving to like Colombia, which back then was crazy. I mean, nobody did that. But I did. I went. I trusted my gut, and it ended up being amazing. But it kind of set my career path on a whole new trajectory. I've always been the kind of person that has had like 1 or 2 or 3 jobs. If I had free time, I was finding a way to make money, even if it was like, waitressing tables or tutoring math or whatever it could be. I thought, if I've got free time, why not, right? So when I picked up and moved to South America, my Spanish was iffy. I thought it was okay, but really looking back, it wasn't so great. It took me a while to adjust, but sure enough, I kind of picked up some odd jobs here and there and made a pretty good life for myself. I certainly wasn't ready to depend on my boyfriend, then fiance, then husband over those years. We lived 5 years in Colombia. But I also never had that mindset of wanting to be a stay-at-home mom. So it wasn't until I got pregnant and we had our first baby in Colombia that I was like, no way am I trusting my baby to anybody else here. And, over there, the culture is very different. And my mother-in-law wasn't, my husband was kind of raised by nannies, and she's, has a giant healthcare business. And so I didn't really have family that would help. So I decided to quit my job that I had at the time. I was running a sales team for a medical company there, and stay home. I thought it was going to be temporary, and it turned into kind of just longer and longer. Eventually we moved back to the States, and pretty soon, you guys, it was like 10 years, and I'm a stay-at-home mom. And I think, I'm looking back, I know that was a huge blessing, and I think that it's something that, is undervalued a lot these days. But there, in that time frame, I sort of like lost myself. I went from being kind of this driven person that had my own money and had my own bank account, to kind of like depending on my husband, who was gracious and amazing and wonderful, and never, batted an eye if I wanted to purchase something, or, splurge here and there. But there was this sense of independence that I lost. I didn't realize it though at the time. You're busy and you're having babies, and we had two kids back to back, and then closed the factory, decided like that's it. And when my kids were finally in school age, I started looking at jobs that I could do to kind of like get back in the working force, because, children are expensive. We'd moved back to the States, and living on one income was getting harder and harder. So we decided to, I was looking at, real estate, or being a Pilates instructor, or something that was going to allow me to be flexible. And then I got pregnant again and had baby number 3 8 years later. So it was kind of like this huge reset for me. And we were both trying to figure out like what was going to be next. Never did I think it was going to be network marketing, but enter my best friend. We were living in Miami at the time. Enter my best friend. She actually got diagnosed with breast cancer. And her and I kind of locked arms. I'd been on this very like non-toxic, holistic living path for quite a while, actually, for probably about 5 years before that. And so when she was diagnosed with breast cancer, she went all non-toxic and found Monat, because she was looking for products that were healthier and cleaner. And, anybody that gets sick with, whether it be cancer or whether it be an autoimmune disease, you start looking for little changes that you can do in your life to make your health overall better. So she found Monat. She got the bottles of shampoo in my shower, of course, and I was happy to use them because it's amazing. You start using it, you fall in love with it, but never did I imagine that I would sell it. Meanwhile, we're getting a little more stressed about finances, and I'm trying to think like, what can I do that is going to give me the freedom to still be able to kind of like be there for my kids. I had, a 6-month-old baby at the time. So I became a customer of Monat for 6 months. So if you all are VIP customers and you're here on this call and you're thinking like, okay, I'm here because, my friend invited me and they want me to just take a listen, but I'm like totally not interested in this business. Listen up, because I said the same thing. I was a customer for 6 whole months before I can see Gina. She's like, yeah, me too. Nobody ever dreams of selling shampoo on the internet, right? And I say shampoo because we started with shampoo, but really like, now we have all the things. And of course, the wellness part is huge for me, because the whole reason that I started with these products was because they were non-toxic and cleaner options. So I'm loving that we have that whole aspect, but nobody ever really thinks about doing that as a business. You add to that this stigma, at least for me, and I'm embarrassed to say it now, because looking back, it's like I was so ignorant and closed-minded, but I really just thought direct sales was for like, the high school dropout, or the people that like couldn't get a job doing anything else. And 4 years later, I've now been partnered with Monat for 4 years. This business has not only changed my life in every aspect, but it has taught me that there's a better way and a smarter way. And you can bet that I'm telling my kids, and I'm not afraid to say this, and this might turn some of you off, and I'm sorry, but I'm just super truthful. Like, I am telling my kids, who are now 5, 12, and 13, you know what? You want to go to college? Great. Guess what? I personally do not think that that's the way of the world anymore. And they're all going to get involved in network marketing the minute that they turn 18. I hope it's Monat. Of course, I want it to be Monat, but this is the kind of business that is there is no other business that you can do and grow the way that you can with this. And it's ordinary people. You don't need any any experience. You don't need to be a salesperson, which was a huge thing for me. So let me go back and say, my friend Tony was like, you got to sell this, you got to sell this. And I was like, no, it's an MLM. I actually, you guys, like went to the length of like trying to like Google like Monate scam. It's an out. Like, I mean, I came up with every reason that I could possibly find. There were none, of course. But like, I was trying to find a reason not to do it. And I really think it just came down to me ego, but she kept bringing it up and kept bringing it up. And I was saying no, but I was watching her, and I watched this girl who we raised our babies together, right? We were the moms at like the play dates and the swim class and the gymnastics class. And we talked about, you know, how to get our kids to eat vegetables and all the things that new moms do that, you know, consume your life as a mom. But a few years into it, you're like, my life has got to be more than this. And I love my children and I feel so blessed to be with them, but who am I anymore? Right. So I watched her sign up with this brand new company that nobody had ever heard about. And I watched her almost immediately win a trip to Hawaii. I watched her start remodeling her kitchen. And this is my girlfriend that was like the coupon clipper that like, you know, Tony Lasada, Aaron, like she seriously was like, she was the one that would go to CVS with her coupons and be like, I just made money on buying all my, you know, toothpaste. Anyway, I'm watching her start to like spend a little money, and I really got envious of the life that she was living. And it wasn't because of the financial aspect. It was that she was no longer just a mom. And I say that with the most sincerity because I think it's such an important job. But to be able to have something outside of the home is so important for women in particular. And I see a lot of men on here, and I think that's amazing. But a lot of women, you know, like have trouble balancing that. And so I'm here to say that there is more out there, and it has really given me kind of like my confidence back. So I signed up with Monate. I was scared to death. I was scared about what people would think. I was scared about asking my friends to buy shampoo. And little did I know that one, so many people have hair issues, which I didn't really realize. I knew that, you know, I had kids and postpartum hair loss and I had frizzy hair, but I didn't really like care that much about it. And I didn't realize like how much people actually suffer. So as soon as I started sharing about it, people were knocking on the door. And so this is a product that so many people are looking for, and not only because it provides you good results that are going to make you feel better, but also because it's a cleaner option. And I think that like the world is moving more and more towards that. You can see it now. You walk into Target, you walk into, you know, Costco, anywhere, and now they're labeling the shelves with like paraben free, sulfate free, no phthalates, the things that we should all be more conscious of. And so the fact that Monate kind of got on this like way before everybody else is amazing. So I started with the company. I kind of was timid at first, but it sort of just grew. And what I have gained from this over 4 years, just in the growth personally, is huge. I've gotten my confidence back. I've done things that I never thought I would do, like speak on stages with hundreds of people that are terrifying, but you know, it's a whole growth experience through that. And this business has just given me friendships, it's given me financial stability, it's given our family a lot more wiggle room with things that weren't possible beforehand. We just got back from a trip to Cancun yesterday where we decided we were going to extend our trip for a few days because we both work from Wi-Fi, and that's possible. There was no boss to call into and say, hey, not coming into work Monday, you know? And so those are the things that I think more and more people really need to start taking a look at. And with this era of the internet where everyone is selling things socially, most of you on here, I would venture to say, have recommended a restaurant to a friend. You've recommended a hairstylist. You've recommended a plumber. You've recommended a recipe. Like that's all this business is. We are recommending things that we love. And so it makes so much sense. And I didn't realize it then, that I really lucked out getting involved with this particular network marketing company, just because we're so far ahead of the game. I mean, this company is brand new still. It's still a baby company. We have so much growth ahead of us that, like, you know, when people talk about like, oh, if you get in early, then you're set up. Well, right now is early, you guys. Like right now is still like in this ground floor opportunity. And you know, we have this product that everybody uses. And I didn't do this research. I just saw my girlfriend and she was successful with it. And I thought, "Oh, I want that. I want to have meetings to go to. I want to have, you know, business coffee dates where I'm talking about business and making some money on my own." But I didn't realize that it was as sweet as it really, really is. So this community, this family, really is like no other. You have all the support in the world. Literally, the minute you click join now, you are like welcomed with this giant hug, and people are like, all right, let's run with you. And that's the beauty of this, right? Like, you know, it feels really weird to go from being a stay-at-home mom, not really making any money at all, maybe like here and there. I think I tried little tiny businesses here and there, an Etsy shop or something, which I'm not crafty, so that was really not a good idea. But you know, you try things here and there to kind of like, you know, make extra ends meet. And where I started with just, can I make like a few $100s a month, to where I am now, I don't say that to be like braggadocious or anything, but it's just because I think that people they don't understand like the actual opportunity that lies here. And I didn't do it by myself. No person on here, when you look at Erin, who's, you know, the top of the comp plan in the company, and, you know, Erin and Roxy were just like huge inspirations to me and my team in this business over the last several years. But when you look at them, like they didn't get there by themselves either, right? So this is the only business I think that you have where the more successful your people are, the more successful you are. And so it's been so amazing to watch the stories that have come out of this. And you guys, if you've been on these calls, these Tuesday night calls, you hear other people's stories, and we all kind of have something different to share. But it's really amazing what this business can do, and it fits into your life, right? So yes, I was a stay-at-home mom, but I would say probably 90% of the team that I have under me right now work full time. So this is something really cool that can like fit into the little nooks and crannies of your life, and be sort of a supplement until you grow it to take over, should you want that business. So that's kind of what I have. I don't know if you wanted me to talk about anything else as far as like the company or the products, or how to join.
That's so awesome, Stacey. Thank you so much. That was so wonderful. It's Monty Lee. I totally relate to the whole stay-at-home mom thing and feeling like you've lost yourself, and even finding yourself with a tiny bit of resentment some days to your family, even though you're grateful. You're like, really, I have to do this again. So that is something you really do find yourself, and you find another passion, something else other than your family you can be passionate about. So it's such a gift in that way as well. I know that if you don't mind, we'd love to ask questions when we have, your story was so great and inspiring. I'm wondering, what do you think is like the top thing for yourself, the number one thing you would tell people that they need to be successful with their business, if that's what they want from it?
Oh gosh, well, we always say consistency, right? Being consistent trumps anything else in this business. So, you know, it's funny because you hear other people from network marketing companies that are like, oh, I tried it didn't work. Oh, I tried the shakes once and that didn't work, or the wraps or whatever, the oils. And yes, Monet's by far, I think, superior, because we have just products kind of for everyone that are really easy to sell. But I do think that it takes being consistent. And so just knowing that, like anything else, it's going to take work, but it's a really simple work. It's not easy, but it's definitely simple. So I think just showing up every day, whether it be to a call or on your social media platform, or, you know, phone calls or reaching out or whatever it is, planning an event if you're somewhere where you can plan an event. But that I think is pretty big. The other thing too is just knowing that like kind of like just being able to kick like fear to the side. I know for me, the times in my business where I've maybe like dipped back a little bit or not been as successful as I wanted, or maybe not met a goal, or even like not gotten as started as quickly as I wanted to, was because I was scared. I was scared about what people were going to think. I was scared about failing. And it's so silly to think about because I mean, nobody gets anywhere without failing, right? You have to fail to learn from your mistakes. And it's not like you can fail really hard selling shampoo. It's not like you're falling flat on your face. But I think that just not being afraid to try something new. And I feel like the older we get, the more difficult it is to really try something new and put ourselves out there. Yeah, we maybe start to feel like, I feel like when I turned 40, I was like, I don't care what people think anymore. I am who I am. But you start to think like, oh, I don't think I could do that as much. When you're 20, you're invincible. You can do anything. But the older you get, you start to doubt yourself. And I think that the opposite of that is trying new things. And you have to just keep forcing yourself to try new things to keep growing and reminding yourself how awesome you really are.
Oh, that's so awesome. That's like the perfect answer. And yeah, consistency for sure. And it's not silly to be afraid because we all are. It's just something that's in us. So being able to overcome that is huge. And personal development comes with that, which is another great part of this business. So I don't know if anyone else has any questions yet, but I do want to remind any of our guests to please put their names in the chat so that I can make sure I have everybody. I have everybody so far. So if you've done that, that's totally awesome. And if anyone else had anything else to chime in, that would be the time, and then we can do the draw. I love how they sit there quietly. Oh, there you go.
I honestly, like when I first got started, I mean, and back then we didn't even really have business presentations. It was just like, hey, you want to try this new thing? I was probably afraid to ask questions too, but
I'll just say a few words. So it was so nice seeing you. It's been so long since we could really see people and connect with people. And I just want to add that there is something special that goes on in this business. Stacey, I guarantee she does not recognize herself as a person from where she was when she started this business. You grow into somebody that is confident in talking to people, outgoing, overcoming the fears that you think you have. And really it all stems back to the reason we share all of this is because we actually care. It's not to make $15 from anybody, right? This company is providing these clean products. And when someone has a hair issue, they feel terrible every single day when they wake up. They're hiding it in pictures. When someone has a skin issue, it's right there on their face perhaps. And they feel less than themselves. And that's really why I know everybody who's on this call, that's the reason they invited you to the call, because they care enough to invite you to the call, to give you the chance to make a decision for yourself that might change your life. The last time I worked in the corporate world, I paid 54% in taxes, guys. 54%. That's just disgusting. I want to vomit every time I think about that. And if I would have had a side business, I could have been able to write off a lot more of that. And if it's only for that, there's so many reasons that you want to do something like this to really affect your life, give you the personal freedom. And the last 2 years that I had with Roxy, she had retired me, and this company basically allowed me to work, basically love on her as my full-time job for the last 2 years of her life. And I would have never had that otherwise. And you don't know what the future is going to bring. Nobody here knows. Nobody here a year ago knew what our world would be like today in terms of COVID, people not able to make the normal salaries they made, people not able to show up to work because it's closed down. All of these things affect your life. And it just shows you that there's a point in life where you've got to make a decision for yourself to get yourself back in control of what you guys can do and own for your life. And that's what this is all about. owning those next decisions. That's why I call it discovery your next chapter, that we want you guys to realize this is your life. What is going to be your next chapter? And we want you guys to take advantage of it. And between the science of Monat, forward thinking of Monat, the amazing comp plan, which is unlike nobody else's, we basically paid out in the 6.5 years they've been there, $1 billion in commissions. That's a lot of money going into people's hands, changing their lives.
Mhm.
And I'm going to tell you, it's not too late. We're only in 5 countries. And when I say that, we're less than 1% of the people in the US even know about this. Less than 1%. It's like, there are so many people that are still there. And in the top 10 income earners in Monat, there are 2 people that have only been in the business for 12 months. So it can happen today, it can happen tomorrow, and there's so many ways to take advantage. I do want to say one more thing so that everybody's aware of it. We do the skincare, and the skincare is amazing. You guys, I look like what, I'm 20 now, I think. No, I'm using it like crazy because it's so good. For your men there, oh my God, anybody will reach out to me. I'll tell you how I will never not shave after using the skincare again. I will always use the skincare. It's amazing. But this month only, and time is running out, we have skincare only product packs for those people who say, well, I think my hair is good, or it looks like this, and you say, I'm not really the big hair fan. You can get involved just in the skincare this month because we've got product packs for that. So, but the whole thing is make a decision for yourself. Do something that changes your life, puts it back in your control, and that's really all I wanted to say. So, Monty Lee or Brandy, and by the way, thank you so much for sharing, Stacey.
Awesome. Okay. Yes. I think we're ready for the draw. I have everybody in there that's put their name in. So I will shuffle it up and we will spin. We'll start with the 30-second miracle, because let's face it, that's all I have on tonight. You know what? It's almost better than concealer. Hides everything. I don't know if you can see that. I'll read it to you. Laura Deek. Congratulations, Laura Deek. And the second was the berry scrub, which I have to say, I think was the most useful product for me in terms of getting rid of those nasty dry patches and the rough skin. Like, it completely transformed my skin, obviously with everything else, but. And Mandy Wilkinson. Congratulations. So make sure you get to the person who invited you and give them your address so we can get those prizes shipped out to you right away.
Awesome. Thanks, Monty. Okay, so again, thanks to my co-hosts, Monty and Aaron. I love doing this with you every single week. And special thank you to Stacey. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And you guys, make sure you go back to the market partner that invited you here tonight. As Aaron said, they see something special in you, and they know what this business is doing for other people and themselves. The potential is huge, and we are just getting started. We are in such huge momentum, and in our, what do they call it, like that hockey stick growth again. We are in between that 5 and 10 year mark where our company has ironed out all those kinks. We have systems in place. This is something that you absolutely should consider. If you're on the fence, ask your questions. And like Stacey said, don't allow the fear to hold you back. If it's calling to you, definitely just, I want to say jump, just jump. But that's it for tonight. Thank you so much, everyone. We will see you soon. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.